Hello, listeners. This is Jim, the Keys bartender, coming to you from Key Largo. Yes, I always say it's a beautiful day because it is a beautiful day. We had a little rain earlier. It cleared up. It's still busy down here. We have a lot of people down here. I was in the people getting supplies at the supermarket and stuff like that. Today was the day, one of my days off, and I'm able to do other things too, but I had to take the family up to Homestead. We had to go up to take a look at some electronics, and at Best Buy. I was not for me, for my wife and daughter. They're heading on their trip shortly this Thursday, so I'll have plenty of time to podcast. I'll be podcasting at night, things like that. Won't be doing it the way I used to do when they went away. I'd be drunk as a skunk, but I won't doing that. But we also had to do a couple other things, and we ended up going to a really nice restaurant in Homestead, Florida, and I'll talk about Homestead a little after this, and then the restaurant. Being in the Keys, even though now we're the 21st century, you can get almost anything you want through online ordering. From Amazon to Zappos to Instacart. I think there's we even get Uber Eats down here and stuff like that. You hear me, I complain about it. The people that invented it or created the apps for third-party deliveries or second-party deliveries, whatever you consider it. It's not the first-party delivery because it's not by the restaurant. I'm not going to demonize them. They have to monetize their systems, and restaurants have to be wary about signing up on agreements. But we're not talking about that on our show. So you can order almost anything. But there's nothing like going to see something and look at it, feel it, and ordering things online and waiting a couple days for them to come in and then decide it's not for you. That's the nice thing about going to Best Buy. You get the look, you touch, and feel of something. And Best Buy, for electronics store, pretty good. They had a shitload of mics. They had about 8 different mics you can use a podcast. They were one of those freestanding mics, condenser mics. And there was a setup with a headphone, and it had the plugs and all that stuff. I just quite didn't figure out how to do the... what am I trying to figure out? How to do the hookup so I can hear the phone calls. And then I'm trying to figure out, if I do have someone call in, I want to be able to have whoever's co-hosting with me. If I take a phone call, I think I'm just going to have one other person with me. I mean, there's ways to do it, obviously. I just don't have the system here. I am not that adept yet. But I'll figure out how to do it. But up there, I went up there and I saw these different things. I saw it's all about cabling. I use a soundboard and all this stuff to go into my podcast app. I guess I can record and do it. But you know what? It's nice to be able to go live and do it and record it like I am doing now. So before I get too sidetracked again. So, that's one of the things. I have to look at it. I got to think about it. I got to think of different options. Yes, I can go on Amazon. I can look at it. And when you're talking to people, you ever feel when you're talking to people on a group on social media, let's say, and then you're trying to figure out where they're necessarily coming at. There's different skill levels when it comes to almost anything, but particularly podcasting. There's different technical skill levels. I have not been able to edit any of my shows, as you can probably tell. Right? I just try to get it right, or 85% right. I would love to get the sound perfect all the time. I really would. Without it sounding echoey or having any feedback. I know I should do it from a room that doesn't have a lot of reverb and things like this. This room's not cavernous. It's not big. It's not small. But as long as I'm not blasting, I don't think it gets too echoey. I just want it to be okay. And I know that's a barrier for some of those people saying, it's like, there's nothing worse than having a little buzz in the background and things like that. And people get on and apologize and things like that. And you've heard me say time after time, I'll figure it out. Well, I've gotten a lot better than I did from our first couple of shows. If you listen to the first couple of shows, the content may have been good, but the sound was shit. And I've had shit shows in the hundreds of episodes that I've did since then. This is episode 459, which we're only about. I did do this right. I'll be doing episode 500 sometime in July. Who knows? Well, today was the day, though. We both, my wife and my daughter, daughter's not in school. Wife took off from work because they're leaving on Thursday. And we needed to get things done today. And we had to drive up to Homestead. And what we do, if you're in the Keys, this is what the most fortunate part of being in the Upper Keys. The most fortunate is the easy way to get off, or it's a quicker way of getting off. Because if there's an accident on the stretch or Cardsound Road, there's two exits out of the Keys. Right at the top of the Keys when you get to Florida City, there's two ingresses and egresses to and from the Keys. One's down called Cardsound Road. It's a smaller road, and the other's on Overseas Highway. And Overseas Highway, both of them are two-lane highways, two-lane roads. But Overseas Highway is more direct for me. And Cardsound Road goes about 8 miles further north, and it's a little slower, different places. But people actually travel a lot faster speed-wise on Cardsound Road. And it's kind of a dangerous road sometimes. And then you got this 905, this one that travels from the way northern part of Key Largo down to Key Largo proper. So I'm digressing once again. So to get off the island, we go up Overseas Highway. And I guess there's nothing better than to see a video doing that. But as you go out, we go over Jewfish Creek. It's a 4-lane road through Key Largo and Tavernier. And it turns into a 2-lane road south of here, and another 2-lane road when you're leaving Key Largo, going onto the island. I'm just checking my phone here. I just got a message, I think. And it's mile marker 126 is the end of the Overseas Highway when it meets the mainland. And I'm at mile marker 102. So it's 24 miles. It takes about 25 minutes to get up there, even though the speed limit is 45 and 55. Everyone on Overseas Highway is doing at least, the 55 miles per hour, and that's the speed limit, 55 miles per hour. But you get people doing 60, 65, 70. You're not going to be doing 70 too much because you got cars in front of you. It's 2-lane highway. There's only 2 places that you legally can pass people on Overseas Highway, and they're all kind of batched, there are 2 of them, and they're batched together up near mile marker 118 and mile marker 120, or something like that. 117 and 120. So if you're behind someone who's slow and you're not near that passing, you're going their speed. Unless, like I said, you can legally pass. So when you're driving, you got some aggressive people behind you. I always try to put someone who's kind of moderately slow, big vehicle behind me. Try to stay in front of them. I mean, a decent speed in front of them. I don't want to slow them down. I always give safe distance. I'm always looking for safe distance. But every so often, I'm going to pause this right now. Let's see what this is. I'll be right back.